Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
Good morning. We've been doing this for a minute, y'all. So thank you so much for rocking with us. We definitely appreciate you. And we got a good show today, so I want you to definitely lock in with us. Normal things like comment, subscribe, like we always mention, and we're gonna have to definitely talk to you about calling into the show. If you want to do so, feel free to do so. I could drop the QR link, but if it's easier, you could call in by clicking on the link and sharing your thoughts and opinions. Must be 18 years or older, right? We want to make sure that everything is copacetic over here. All right, so go ahead, call into the show. Let us know your thoughts, and we're gonna go through this as long as we need to. All right. Let us know where you're tuning in from as well. We'll give you a shout out at the end. So appreciate you. And like always, even though I didn't say this before, let's keep the comments respectful and have a good time. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into the first one because it reminds me of 1 billion, right? With the
For
pinky
sure.
close to the mouth. So we're gonna talk about that real quickly about what this headline was, a thumbnail. And with that, I'm gonna pass over to Tech Bag Trey to share more.
Yep. So today, we're going to talk about ChatGPT. They just crossed 1 billion users. But guess what? Now Gemini also crossed 1 billion users as well. These are two AI assistants, obviously, two totally different companies, and they both have more than a million or billion users each. So, I mean, me personally, when I saw that, my first thought wasn't actually about which AI is better, to be honest. Okay. I started thinking about what exactly are Google and OpenAI competing for now. So let's jump into it as well. So, all right. So 1 billion weekly users is totally different from 1 billion monthly users. Let's just start that off just like that. All right. And Chat GPT is 1 billion weekly users. That's a lot. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Gemini, they have the 1 billion monthly users. I almost missed that because when you see the headlines, right? When I got the headline, it just sounds like they're tied, and that's not the same. 1 billion versus 1 billion. That's what I thought, but they're measuring two different things. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what I would say is like, think about it like this: you got one restaurant that gets a billion customers sometime during the month, and then you have another that gets a billion customers coming through every single week. All right, those ain't really the same restaurant. I'm just being honest with you, but it sounded like it from the headline. So not taking anything away from Google. Obviously, they're still big dogs in the grand scheme, but a billion monthly users is still ridiculous. Okay. But if I'm looking at how often people are really coming back, I'd want to know that weekly number. And that's the one I'd be plastering everywhere for sure. Um, so yeah. Now, as far as Gemini's growth, because we still need to talk about them, we do talk about ChatGPT a lot as well. 750 million, 950 million, 1 billion. Um, that is a number that could surprise you. I know it for sure surprised me. I knew ChatGPT was doing numbers. I didn't know Gemini was doing numbers like that. Um, now, when we talk about how many people are actually using Google products on the daily, you got Android, Gmail, Google Search, YouTube, Big Dogs on Campus. What up, YouTube? Chrome, right? They don't necessarily have to convince you to enter like an entirely new ecosystem. They just needed to make it public. Let's be real. And the longer they stay around, that's the more people are going to jump on there as well. So we're not even going to play those games. But yeah, they can bring Gemini into something that you're already using, and then boom, like the numbers just skyrocket. Let's just be real. OpenAI's advantage, though,
Facts.
right? Huh? Oh,
Oh, I said
uh,
facts. I said facts. Yeah, I
oh yeah,
agree.
yeah. So OpenAI's advantage, though, that's kind of harder to put on like a spreadsheet or something, right? People say Chat GPT when they're talking about AI. And I know this for sure because I was out and I heard someone say, "Hey, you know what? I'm just gonna well," and then the other person finished their sentence and said, "What? Put it in ChatGPT." And I was just listening, right? But this it just made me think about that. Yeah, people they literally say ChatGPT when they're talking about AI. So now to use the Google analogy on them, it's funny. It's almost like saying, "Let's Google that."
Ironic.
Google it. You know what I mean? Yeah, the irony there. So you don't necessarily mean every internet search happens on Google, obviously, but the brand has become connected to the action. And so I don't know if ChatGPT gets all the way there in the grand scheme, but that's a huge value prop when it comes to investing, when it comes to doing your thing on there. It creates a great Google versus OpenAI, talk and long term discussion without turning, without me or Joseph being fanboys of either. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Funny.
the numbers we need to care about in an episode like this, um, the voice statistics. All right, 63% of Gemini users reportedly are using voice. Now, to me, I'm gonna be honest, it could be a little more interesting than the billion because that's a lot. That means people are walking around just talking into talking into the stuff back and forth. 63%, right? And you're thinking about AI as something that you type into, apparently a lot of people aren't, as in over half, you know. Um, and that kind of will, make you think about as far as what are these assistants looking like in a couple years from now, you know? Because if voice is that normal, like 63%, that's over half. If it becomes like super normal, well, now you're not even open an AI app every time. You're just talking to something while you drive, which we're kind of doing that now, which is maybe why they feel more comfortable. Most people, I don't know, but you're talking to it while you drive, while you cook, while you're working. Hey, chat. I'm about to do something, and then it hits you right back in your ear, and then you on. I don't know. Maybe somebody's already doing that. I'm just saying. Eventually they'll have enough tech where y'all see the thin glasses I got on right now. Boom, whole AI set up in that thing, right?
Oh yeah, Jarvis right
Eventually.
there.
Yeah, it's not there now, but it's gonna get thinner and thinner, and eventually, they could be doing that as well. So that's a completely different habit, and they're training you at the moment, right? Meta glasses, you know, I can't think of what it's called on your laptop when you can just press the space bar and start talking, but they're getting you ready for it. Is all I'm saying. All right.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let me keep it moving. 150 million images generated daily through Gemini. Crazy stuff. All right. 150 million images. People are doing it all day. They're making images all day. That's what it's saying. This is every day, by the way. So, again, what I'm looking at is behavior more than just the headline. That's what we're getting through, right? So people are creating, they're talking, they're uploading files, sharing their screen, they're showing it things through the camera. So the word chatbot, let's be real, it's kind of starting to feel a little like an outdated term. It's more than that now, right? When you look at how
Yep.
people are actually using these things, it's a little more than just the chatbot, and it's like I don't know, it's more than that. Let's just put it like that. Maybe we'll come up with a term later on, or something like that. But anyway, um, let me just get to the money, and then we'll close it out. Uh, this Chat GPT. All right, this is where we're gonna start with that money. The money, 2 million plus business customers now. Now, I know we don't normally talk about ChatGPT when we talk about the business customers. Y'all know we talk about the other big boys, but 2 million is nothing to scoff at. And there's another number that sits underneath all of that, that I'd probably keep an eye on as well. OpenAI says that it has more than 2 million business customers because a billion people using something is great. But the next question every company eventually has to answer is how much money can we make from these people? Right? Like, yes, we're using it, but how much money are we making? Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna see because again, the other big boy got a lot of business customers over there. So who knows? Maybe they're just taking that as, hey, that's extra. We want to focus on these individual customers. I don't know. But anyways, Google already has advertising, obviously, AdSense, etc. on your websites, all of that. The cloud, workspace, YouTube. OpenAI is building its business while this is happening in real time. And they also just released ads on ChatGPT. I don't know if y'all saw that, but when you logged in right after it was released, they had a little banner down there. Hey, check out ads. You can start using them now. So, anyways, they're both fighting for users, but they don't necessarily need to make money from those users in the same way. That's what we're getting at here. And that's huge. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think that's why the billion user number really caught my attention mostly. Not necessarily because it's 1 billion is like a magical number. It's huge. Let's not get it wrong. That's crazy. But it's what happens after we reach that billion. When Facebook reached that kind of scale, it became part of everyday life. Obviously, like, that's, hey, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, he followed me on Facebook, right? YouTube, YouTube became part of everyday life. Gmail became a part of everyday life. And now we have two AI products that are sitting in the same general territory. Obviously, there are going to be some others that pop up a little bit later, but hey, these are the first two, so we're going to jump with that. So anyways, again, we're entering another phase as we speak. This AI battle, obviously it's not won yet because somebody gets, 5 more points on the benchmark and then boom, that's them. And then the other one jumps them. So I don't know. We'll see. Google wants Gemini to become that. OpenAI clearly wants ChatGPT to become that. Apple, they're going to have something to say about it in a minute, right? Meta, they're going to have something to say about it in a minute. So it's going to keep going on, but a billion people is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that big time. So let us know in the comment section your thoughts and opinions. You can definitely call in to let us know your thoughts as well. But do you really use ChatGPT, Gemini, both, or neither on a regular basis? And if so, have you been using that voice feature that they talked about as well? We're going to dive into that. If you put your comments there, I'll definitely put it up. But I just want to share a couple of things. I'm so glad we're doing this story. The reason why is because sometimes when you see headlines like this, I looked it up and there's other videos that talked about it. When you really peel back, you realize it's not 1 billion is not the same 1 billion, right? Like you said. And I think a lot of times, especially in this area where there's so much clickbait and you roll with the topic and now you know what's the difference, right? Because like you said earlier, about 4 months it took Gemini to grow from 750 million to 1 billion users. But those 1 billion users are per year. And if you think about Gemini and the ecosystem that Google has, it's pretty much plug and play. They could drop Gemini into YouTube search. They could drop Gemini into, and then you could actually go to Gemini itself, use Nana Banana and be able to make images. Like all of this is this ecosystem that was already there. ChatGPT didn't have that. And you're absolutely right. Like ChatGPT is synonymous with AI right now. And I'm going to tell you one thing. There is someone that's close to me. I'll just say it like that. There's someone that's close to me that they basically started using AI. Probably, I would say, started last year. It started off like, okay, this is cool, whatever, and then they started creating like banners for their kids, like graphics for their kids' birthdays that looked really good, right? And then they started to, and now they're at the point where they copyrighted an app. It's all the ChatGPT, by the way. They copyrighted an app that they're going to try to basically license to a business. That's basically a part of their field. I won't say too much because they're like, hey, don't tell people my business. But I was like, that is where we are right now. And I for myself, when I first thought about ChatGPT, I realized that there's a lot of limitations that we put on it. If we really take the time, well, not say a lot of people, because a lot of people, they do a lot of things with ChatGPT. Don't get me wrong. But we're at that place where you have people that are like, hey, I'm at 1 million users. I'm at a I'm using it daily for X, Y, and Z time, X, Y, and Z reasons. These people are part of the super users that use chat. And honestly, I doubt that they go to Gemini anymore. I think it got to the point, especially with that voice feature, that ChatGPT is like their confidant, their friend. Like, yo, my kids are acting up. What would you suggest going on? Like ChatGPT is like free counseling right now. You know, put on the voice, you talking to it. And so that's what I kind of see is where we are at the future. Like you said, things have changed. It's no longer chat bot, right? With this flow based kind of conversation, it's now like chat agents, right? And then these chat agents are even broken down into different features, like a FAQ agent. And then there's also, so the word agent is now changed the way we even think about search. And this kind of little off topic, but I remember and it probably seen this online if you haven't already, but you can look it up. Will.i.am, he's a co-founder of a company, I believe it's called FinAI. Don't quote me on that, but he's a co-founder of an AI company that basically has customized agents. And his agent, the 2.0 version of it, they wake him up in the morning, tell him what he needs to do. He kind of vets it, and then he says, "Okay, go and call these people and let them know what we're doing today, a part of his team." And that is the future. Like, if you want to think about AI search and where it's going, that is here right now. That's already happening. So just to kind of piggyback on what you're saying is just the evolution of AI and in regards to these chatbots and everything that's going on. Like, go behind the numbers, you're going to see that ChatGPT is far outpacing Gemini, because Gemini has the infrastructure, but ChatGPT came out of what, a couple of years ago, and now they're booming in the way they are. And another thing I wanted to kind of go back to real quickly, because you said it, like AI, which specifically ChatGPT, I'm going to talk about, they crossed the same adoption threshold that Facebook, YouTube, and Gemini took years to hit. Years. They've been doing this for a minute, and they just got it. So that shows me that there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of things that are going on right now that we're in like the infancy stage of, and it's going to kind of lead into the next story we're going to talk about. I'm not going to steal the thunder, but I definitely want to stay here for a little bit. I'm gonna have to, yeah. This right here is something to look at, because it's not the same. It really isn't the same. One is completely like, boom, here we go. The other one is like, we've been doing this for a while. We're plugging and playing, and we're letting it go. But yeah, it's a totally different thing. But I'm gonna pass to you, Trey, for a moment, just to share, because I think you were about to say something.
No, I wasn't. But I mean, we can get with Tech Coach Ralph in the comments. Let's see. Tech Coach Ralph said, he said voice. Oh wait, did it show? Nope. Said, has voice become your default way of using AI yet? Not for me. Oh wait, you know what, bro? You know what? It's crazy. Yes, I would say yes. It's wild. I'm thinking about what I do, and I had to double back. Yeah, it actually is. Normally, I'm talking into it. Either I'm talking into it, or I'll press the little microphone. Like if I'm actually using ChatGPT, I'll press the microphone, and then boom, start talking. Once it transcribes, I press send. If I'm on Manus, same thing. I think it's for me personally, I do it because I can get more context into what I'm trying to get done into the prompt versus if I'm typing it out. If I'm typing it out, I'm lazy. If I'm typing it out, I'm doing the least amount of context as possible. That's going to get me the result. If I'm talking, I'm going in.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be honest, the transcribe, like them listening to what I'm saying and actually pulling it up there, it's really good. Like it surprised me. Because a lot of times when I'm creating content, I created a GPT that will give me, the things that I need out of it, so that I can do it faster. And I'm putting in a lot of context, and it pops right up. I'm like, oh, that's the full thing. Enter. So yeah, I would say I'm one of the 63%. I am one of the 63% that has become default on voice when it comes to that. I don't know. Are you
Well,
back? How about
yeah,
yourself?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. No, I want to go in the comment section real quickly. I use voice when I live stream or driving. Yeah, that makes sense too. That's what Tech Coach Ralph said. But there's a couple comments here. I'm gonna talk about Whisper Flow. If y'all don't know about Whisper Flow, yeah, that's my thing right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Whisper.
Um,
Yeah.
but let me go to this comment real quickly. Where Ava Q, thank you for rocking with us. By the way, basically
What's
says
up,
to me,
Ava?
yeah, appreciate you. We appreciate you for sure. She says to me, AI is bad. I think a lot of
Mm,
people have that. Some people have that mindset. Like they think it's the devil. They think they think it's coming to do a lot of things. It's tribulation time. Like I heard a lot about that. So what I would say is definitely try for yourself. There are certain things you want to say. Hey, I'm not going to depend on AI to do this or ChatGPT. Let's be specific about that. But there's other ways, like if you think about it, not trying to go after any graphic designers, but again, going back to my what I shared, this mother, I'm gonna say this mother, she basically, actually I can say my wife basically, she was able to take like she was like fiddling around with it to now making graphics for birthdays to like and all sorts of things. And so people straight up can really take and leverage it to do things that we probably didn't think we could do before. You could even take a graphic in there, and not trying to copyright anything, and you could literally tell it, "Hey, change this to X, Y, and Z," and boom, and it will. Especially if you like, for like Claude, for example, if it has historical knowledge or whatever, and ChatGPT does that as well. It has historical knowledge of you. It kind of gets to know you and understand you. Boom, you could create something that you could use, a graphic that you could use, and then guess what? If you go to somebody else and ask them the same service, probably 7 times out of 10, they're probably using AI in one way, shape, or form to build it for you anyway. So might as well kind of figure out how to use it and use it for yourself. And yeah, I would say that's not to be afraid of it, but just to be aware.
yeah,
It's a,
it's
it's a
it's
great
all
approach.
relative. It's all relative. I'll keep it short on my side. It's all relative, right? Anything could be bad, depending on how you use it. The
Yeah,
knife, you can use it to cut some good old strawberries, or slice it and dice. Same thing with a gun. You can use it for dinner, for a certain animal, or unfortunately on someone else. So it's all relative. AI is also in that same bracket, same boat, right? Yeah, there are people who are using it for bad things
yeah,
currently. Hacking
yeah,
into businesses, stealing, patient information, etc. But then there's also people who are, able to connect the dots on certain medicine or whatever. Like, they're able
yeah,
to finish connecting certain dots that would have taken them years longer, just from being able to collapse time frames. So it's all relative. Do I think you should use it for everything in your life? No.
yeah,
Personally, I'm not gonna have it pray for me. You know what
yeah,
I mean? But at the end of the day, a little task here, a little task there that's gonna collapse some time frames for me when I'm getting stuff done. I'm all there for it. So, um, I just yeah, that's my thoughts on that piece for sure.
yeah. And then Techo's Ralph also added also a professor in Arizona State, I believe. And I believe that's like leveraging, I believe, ChatGPT to like build
Mhm.
out apps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's happening everywhere. And then he also mentioned about being forced on people. I thought that was interesting. AI adoption is also being forced on people too.
That's a
Facebook
fact.
wasn't. It truly was. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Tech Coach Ralph. When you say it's forced on people, do you mean in the workforce or do you mean
Probably.
in, because in regular life, there's a lot of people that says, "Wait, what's that ChatGPT thing that I know of?" But if you mean in the workforce, yeah, it definitely is, which
Mhm.
is interesting. But then again, ChatGPT is become a powerful tool, you know, and like you said, it's become a search engine. People found out about my company through ChatGPT. Sometimes they're like, "Hey, I found out. I asked ChatGPT what companies X, Y, and Z, and your name came up." And so you kind of want to be using it for a way. And Facebook also being a social media platform, not a lot of businesses are leveraging Facebook unless they're like promoting their business. Like, hey, this is where you can find us. So I can see the differences there where one might be forced and one may one may not be forced. Technical
Facts.
Drop says Trey answering his own chat comment is wild. We
What do I do,
because I had to restart it because there was a technical difficulty. We couldn't see any of the comments, so that's why he did
bro?
it.
Bro. Yeah. So that I was just stalling. Let's be real. But you paying attention to that, that's next level. That's next level. Now, what I did see you say though, oh my bad. What did
Oh,
you just put up there?
no, no, you're
Put it
good.
back up.
I'll
Okay.
put it back up. Yeah, just now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I did see where the hat at. Now that I was trying to make me some coffee and I came back, sat right back down and got started. So I guess today is the customary no hat trade day. Uh and so, there's always at least one episode in a year where you don't see the hat. Unfortunately, it has ended and expired, and I put on the new Zoom hat. So there's that. But yeah, that's what happened. I made me some coffee and forgot to throw it on when I jumped back down in the seat.
Oh man, nothing misses his eye. He catches
Uh,
everything.
uh, uh. Yeah, yeah.
He said, "Ever AI revolutionized my crappy thumbnails." Listen,
Hey, hey.
I'm not artistic as well, so I'm very happy for my nano banana.
Next level.
And then he said AI is bad until you used it. I think that's what a lot of people say. Like when they start
Yeah.
using it, they realize, Now, granted, again, everything chew the meat,
Hey,
spit out the bones. But
that's the thing. My wife didn't necessarily say it was bad. She just wasn't using it. So
yeah,
she's currently getting her master's, right? And they're going through these books like crazy and having to do all
mm,
this stuff. She was talking about it one day. I say talking about it, complaining
yeah,
about like having to do it, and I was like, look, check this out, baby girl, check this out. I'm gonna set you up with this right here, okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take pictures of every page in the chapter, okay? After you're done taking the pictures, press this button right here. It's going to turn that into either a short or a long podcast that you can listen to. Okay. Now, once you're done listening to it, if you need a graphic, you're going to press this button right here. It's going to make you a full one pager. Okay. Now, from there, you're going to be able to distill the information while walking the dog. She ain't walking the dog. That's me. But while you on your way to work, while you're in the shower, all these
yeah,
things, you'll be able to get that information in your mind so that when you ready to write this stuff out, it's all there. Guess
yeah.
what? She
She's a
wasn't
fan.
sure about it. I did the first one for her. I was like, look how easy it is. Bow, 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 bow. Did it. Next thing I know, I come through. What you doing? Click, click, click. Oh, I've already done chapter 2 and chapter 3. I'm like, yeah, it's next level, ain't it? Had no clue
Yeah,
about it. I forgot about it, to be honest, till she was complaining about it. I was like, what can I do for her? I was like, oh, I got it. But guess what? These are the things that can collapse time frames and things like that. If you don't know what I was talking about, that was Notebook LM, by the way. But yeah,
hmm
um, it was something that I used like a whole lot when it first came out. And then,
yeah,
I haven't had to necessarily use it right now, but guess what? Because it's available, pulled it out the brain,
yeah,
blessed her with it. Blessed her with it.
yeah, yeah. And one thing, and I'm gonna go back to something that Tech Coach Ralph set up here about one of my guys built a $15,000 worth photography web app with Lovable for free. So when it says worth that much, it probably would have taken that much people to develop it or make it, but
Mm-hmm.
also the revenue that's probably coming through it makes
Yeah.
it worth that much. So that shows you, like, and again, like same story. It's just my wife to one thing, and now she's like, "Hey, I might be onto something," you know. And so that's how it begins. And then, but again, you want to chew the meat, spit out the bones. And I wanted to talk about something else because Tech Coach Ralph did bring up something that I saw as well about how they're adding Anthropic's adding watermarks in its responses. So it
Ah,
helping with like, yeah. So the copy and paste situation might get very interesting. Um, you know, to be like,
man,
hey,
listen,
this is
you
a
gotta
source
do
by
a little
AI.
you gotta do a little more work. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't see that, but like
yeah,
there's somebody complaining about that, by the way. Like
yeah,
somebody, I mean, I don't mean like complain like why they do that? I mean like like
yeah. Hope
I'm about to
Slash.
cancel.
Yeah, that's something that they got to talk about. I mean, I don't, if it's on a business level, that's gonna be problematic because a lot of
Yeah,
businesses are probably
yeah.
using that to make graphics and stuff. Maybe, maybe they're making it for like one pages to send to clients, and then the client will be like, that's that. They probably don't do it on that level. I think it's more
I'm
for a
not paying
consumer
you a
level.
$100,000 for this.
Yeah, exactly, or more. Yeah, like nah. They're like, let's walk this back. So we'll see how that looks and how that lasts. But I know it's just in figuring that. But one thing I wanted to catch because we talked about a little bit when it comes to AI is literally the fact that we have been progressing with technology over a period of time. We had the typewriter for a very long time. And then what happened? We got the computer, and then we on even it was on our phone that we had typewriters until it transferred to like basically digital, where it's just a screen, right? I honestly think the keyboard is going to be obsolete very soon. I think everybody is going to be speaking to technology, whether you have a microphone here or whatever the case may be, because the way it kind of helps you process and like you're thinking and it's coming out, especially what I talked about with Whisper Flow. Like Whisper Flow, the reason why I like Whisper Flow is because I could have an idea. I say, let me, I'm going to make a shopping list. It's going to itemize that list. It's going to autocorrect what I said that's probably misspelled. If I say, nah, scratch that, it'll erase everything and start over. It's a very smart, and it learns as it goes. So it actually adds words that you say to its dictionary. And I'm not, and again, this is not a sponsor of the show. I'm just saying, I'm using them as an example to say that technology is moving in such a way, like you said to Coach Ralph about it being forced on us. And you said tech companies are actually forcing on employees, which actually makes sense. It's really going to be, this is like the first wave is the companies, but then afterwards, like the later adopters, we're going to start seeing it. And I see that a lot of technology is kind of going that way, where everybody's going to have a Jarvis saying, hey, I don't know how they're going to do it, whether it's through the glasses or whatever, but they're just be talking to it versus the actual using of typing. Now, is that a bad thing to be typing illiterate, to have a generation that doesn't even know how to type? Maybe, maybe not. But what I think I know is that it's going to allow for the transmission of what you're thinking to flow out better.
Yeah,
We're already
yeah.
seeing that.
And I saw, well, this was like, I don't know, probably 6 months or a long time ago. Who was that? Oh, I use Manus a lot, and they came out with like something for Telegram. Now it was an extra step for me, so I don't really use it like that, but I did set it up. But in my mind, like I think that's one of the reasons. It's like, yo, it's maybe a lot of people use Telegram, so that was it. But she said Trey and I are gonna build the watermark remover. Yo, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, bro?
That's a big
Those
deal.
those type of websites and apps, they do numbers, right?
Yeah.
I check out if y'all are familiar with Starter Story on YouTube and X. Starter Story, there are a few stories like that where they just build these simple apps, crushing it, doing numbers. Okay,
Mm.
we need to get on that because if Claude or who do we say was doing that?
Oh, Anthropic, Claude. Yeah.
Anthropic, yeah. So if Claude is doing that, yo, we need to get on that ASAP because those type of apps do numbers. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like
That's a good
those
point.
PDF editor, like creators and like all of that, like, and they be simple websites too. I mean, trash, but I'm talking about raking it in. Go look at some of those Starter Story, um, I
It's
guess
on YouTube, right?
testimonials, huh?
It's on YouTube, the Starter
Yeah,
Stories,
yeah,
or
YouTube. Yeah, they have titles like, I spent 24 hours with an iOS millionaire. And then it goes into, you know, how I built this $10,000 a month app on whatever. So, but they do a lot of stories like that right now because there are a lot of people doing it. Like one of the ladies was like, I copied a huge app. Now I make 80,000 a month. And basically it's them that, hey, you have Calendly, right?
yeah,
Calendly, they have all these features, but they're missing this one thing. Someone will do an app similar to Calendly, add that one thing, and
and
then
boom.
go to X and be like, hey, y'all, I'm creating this thing. I think it might do something. Give me your thoughts. And then they get like, 100,000 views, a good 10%, 5% of those purchase, and then they off to the races. But anyway,
Got the model right there.
yeah, I just gave you part of the model right there. I'm just saying.
You probably can use
Oh,
Lovable for that.
oh, for sure, for sure.
Oh man,
Just do me a favor. If you're using it, please change the URL. Please. It's $10. Go to namecheap.com.
Oh my
Change
goodness.
the URL, please.
That's the Lovable URL. Listen, you
I'm
heard
trying
it
to
here.
help you.
Listen, that's all this is trying to do is really trying to help. Really trying to help here, y'all. So now I appreciate the conversation. Thank you so much to everybody that chatted. I'm going to shout them out early because I really appreciate them. We got Ava Cutes, C as in the building. She said, I am here. And none other than the man himself, Tech Coach Ralph, has voice become the default way of
That was
using
me.
AI. Oh, you're right. Here we go. Where the hat at? That's the one. Where the hat at? So we appreciate you guys continually for rocking with us. I want to hit this story. It might be the last thing we do today if we don't have time for the Brown Box special. I'm actually going to just run right into it because of time, but I think this is a good one because this is the signs of the times. And the question is, why are investors throwing one? Wait, before I do that, take over. Said Gemini started at $1 billion. That's
Hey,
that's
this is
funny.
facts.
OpenAI has no shot. They start at $1 billion. That's a good point. That's a good point. Like right now, why are investors throwing $1 billion at a 2-month-old startup? So I'm going to jump right into it because they got a lot of meat to this story. And this is something we've seen a trend of, and I'm going to tell you why. So this company didn't exist 5 months ago, right? This company, this is a brand new company, y'all. This didn't not exist 5 months ago, and it just raised $1.1 billion with NVIDIA and MED both writing a check into the same startup. The people that are fighting, rivals, right? They both write a check to this one. Why? Because of what they're doing, what they're building. And this is, again, $1.1 billion was raised on August 11th. Now, peep the times because this is very important with this story. August 11th, $1.1 billion was raised by this company called River AI. And about 4 months since River AI was born, was legally incorporated, that's when the money was built. So this is not a long time at all. And what's happening is 2 to 4 times cheaper. That's how much cheaper River claims is training its models versus the closed source rivals like Anthropic, like OpenAI, ones that you have to rent and borrow. So this is the trend I'm talking about right here. So River AI was founded by Igor Babushkin. This is very important. Why? Because he was one of the founders of Space or XAI, right? And he left XAI a year ago, almost a year ago to the date, August 13th, right? And what he's known for is a genuine AI heavyweight. So if you don't know who Igor is, his resume is stacked, right? He had a research role at Google DeepMind. He also had a time that he spent leading large-scale efforts at OpenAI, and then he was at XAI before it left. Now it IPO'd February 2nd, so I imagine he got a little chunk of change from that as well. But yeah, he incorporated this in Nevada, and 4 months later, it's $1.1 billion. Now you might be saying like, okay, that's great and all, but what does it actually do? Why is River AI so important right now? So basically, if you think about how most companies operate, off-the-shelf AI, they call an API from OpenAI, Google, or Anthropic and get like a general proposed model built to serve everyone, right? So they're basically renting it out, these models from these large companies, right? But what River AI is saying is that, no, the future looks different. The future is basically companies will want to train and own their own custom AI models, but specifically on their own data, which is absolutely true. Why? Because of security, hallucinations, all the different things that companies want to insulate themselves from. This is what River AI is proposing. So the platform lets a company fine-tune its open weight AI model on their own proprietary data without needing an in-house AI infrastructure. And let us know in the chat if you know about the story, Tech Coach Ralph, and your thoughts on it for sure. So again, this is without needing an in-house AI infrastructure team. This is doing this through River AI. And the API can complete a full reinforcement learning training run in 15 to 20 minutes, a process that took a lot of time and a lot of engineers to do before. River claims the cost is two to four times less, like I said earlier. And so the pitch is that AI should be open, freely available, and affordable to all. That's what they're saying right now. So what makes the story very interesting is that NVIDIA and AMD, complete rivals in this place, are both saying, hey, we want to invest in this bad boy, because they never appeared together on they never appear together on the same cap table, right? They always are different sides, making bets in different places. So both companies making strategic investments in River AI in this round says a lot, and why we need to keep an eye on them. And so why both companies want this to succeed is because River AI's whole pitch depends on companies buying more compute to train on their own custom models. So it benefits NVIDIA and AMD themselves. So that's why they're invested into them. And so it's very interesting to see that. And why this matters to us right now is that for the past couple of years, using AI meant renting intelligence from OpenAI, Google, or Anthropic. So River AI is betting that the new phrase, which I agree with, is owning your own AI, trained on your company's specific data, running under your own control. And if you work in enterprise AI tech data space, this is a shift to watch, because the skill of the new future may not be prompting ChatGPT well. It may be training and maintaining your company's own private model. And the fact that 1.1 billion moved that fast into a company this young tells you how much unresolved conflict conviction, which is true, there still is about AI infrastructure spending and where it goes right now. So definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one, y'all, because this one is a story that resonates deeply. I know a lot of people that are interested in doing exactly that, which is going ahead, having AI for their company specifically, and not renting it out to OpenAI or others. Now, I'm gonna pause there, but any thoughts from y'all? Let us know in the comment section. That's a lot of money.
No, this is interesting, and I think they understand what I mean, I know they do. You know, when you're up at that level, you talk to a lot of people who make some big decisions, and you're able to get what's really happening in the market real time. Also, you build relationships. So, you know, it's no, like when you said where he's worked before and what he's done before, it's no surprise that these type of investments have come this fast, right? Relationships. But anyways, on the other side of that, I can see where they're going there. Like, I know there are people saying like, well, you can do that right now with, you know, ChatGPT or Claude or, you know, whatever. Yes, but the idea is they're going to be going after businesses. I know it, and obviously, but they know that these businesses are probably already having rumblings of, I'd rather have my own, right? So you think about like, I was at a conference earlier this week. I was in some of the sessions, and hospitals are, you know, there's one of the things that came up. It was an AI session, but basically, you know, you take a hospital, they don't necessarily need an AI that knows everything on the internet. They just don't. They might want an AI that understands just their like their procedures. Like, hey, this is a outpatient, blah blah blah. Maybe they wanted to know just that, right? Their documents, their workflows, and their internal information. Law firms, same thing, right? So that's what, in my mind, just, you know, listening to the story right now, that's what that's what basically River is going to be marketing to, and that's like, those are the people that they're going to probably be going after to really build this up, and they're going to do numbers. Like, I can see it now for sure.
Yeah, and the reason why this is another thing I want to throw out there is that the companies can do this without needing an in-house AI infrastructure team. That is a big deal, because most of the times what's happening is you might have an AI infrastructure team come in and they're working on a project, and depending what tech stack or whatever's part of it, they might say, okay, we need to actually build some hours to their AI infrastructure team to help us build this out. And so you're looking at a project where you're not only paying your people inside, but another team to do it, and how expensive it could get, and also how long it could take. And the fact that it's cutting down the time, but also eliminating the need for an AI infrastructure team. Now, granted, you are going to need some other people to just make sure they're overseeing the whole project. Don't get me wrong. But to cut that down, that's huge. There's companies that have been trying to do things on their own for quite some time. And I know that if they see something like this, they're like, wait, hold on. When can I get a try? When can I try that out? So this is going to be impacting the market. Companies that probably have been leveraging being a rapper for using OpenAI or Google or using Claude, or they're going to be probably challenged right now to really prove value, really prove value. So so yeah, y'all. That's definitely one of the stories I wanted to throw at you to kind of keep you in the loop of that. And with that being said, we got a couple more minutes. I want to just kind of run into the brown box special because we got enough time. We got enough time for it. So the brown box special today is credit to Reddit. It's a quick story, but it's basically said demoted after 5 months, new job offer. Should I stay or should I go? And so with this story, basically what happened was 5 months ago, this person landed a job. I'll read it for you. But 5 months ago, he says, I landed a job in construction. Everything was going okay until it wasn't, right? Said, I began to feel incredibly overwhelmed, struggling to keep up with updates and deliverables, bad at running meetings. My lack of knowledge began to show. I try to keep up, working every day and weekends with long hours to keep this moving, helping as much as I can. But my performance was still not up to par, even so far as having panic attacks and night terrors. It all came down to an email stating I was demoted with a salary cut. At least you kept the job. I was given the choice of demotion or taking a separation, which I assume was a severance and layoff. Literally the same day I got an offer from a different company. This job is much more aligned with my experience, and it offers excellent work-life balance, and the workers and leadership are former colleagues of mine. I feel conflicted about giving up my current position. I feel like I'm a failure and running away, but I feel safety is not guaranteed after that demotion. Not to mention the effects the current job is having on my health and personal life. I don't feel like there's any coming back from that original failure they see in me. Does staying make any sense? I feel like I'm going to destroy my confidence even more while at risk of getting laid off or fired. Now, new job is a pay cut, but negligible at this time, and the benefits are also a bit better at the new spot. But above all else, I feel like I feel competent and capable again instead of a failure. Any advice appreciated? Thank you so much. I have my thoughts, but I want to pass it over to y'all first to respond.
Who? The comments or me?
Oh yeah, you first, and then
okay.
and then the comments because later on.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be real, man. This is again things that I talk about all the time. So if it sounds like a broken record, I'm sorry, y'all, but it is the truth, and you understand why I'm talking about it like a broken record because it keeps coming up. But it's not just on these; it's in real life as well. When your identity is in what you do, you're going to have this problem. Like your identity has to be outside of your title, outside of what you do at work, that prestige or whatever. Even if it's not prestigious, it has to be outside of that, or you're going to struggle like this. In my mind, listening to this story, it was a no-brainer layup,
Exactly.
dunk, whatever you want to
Alley oop,
say.
yes.
Yeah, alley oop. To go to the new place.
Yeah.
Like your old friends, a better setup, more in your wheelhouse of what you know, and you're struggling. Why? Because of the job title. And what are people going to think?
Yeah.
Let me give you a little tip here. People are going to think what they're going to think regardless. So you might as well do what you need to do for your own insight. What you going to do? Have a stroke trying to keep up with at this new old job?
Yeah.
Just so that people can talk about you having the stroke and also still not doing well? No.
Yeah.
But because you're trying to keep the title, when in actuality, there was uh, like where I learned this concept from is a guy named Jim Rohn, and he was like, you know, if you get a promotion and you're used to being able to go and play golf and have this time to your family and all yourself, but now the promotion, you have no time for your family, you haven't played golf, you're mad, you're sad, you're angry, you can't
It was worth
sleep,
it.
you might want to go back down to the old position to get your time back, your life back, because that's going to kill you.
Mm.
And it's one of those things where people don't want to go back because of the title when they don't realize the freedom is on the other side of whatever is going on right there.
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just being real. At the end of the day, it's because he's thinking about what people are going to think about him, and people are going to think about whatever they want to think anyway. Like, so
Yeah.
you might as well do what you need to do. Who cares? Who cares what they think? At the end of the day, people, by the way, people are busy thinking about what you think about them. So when
Or
you
did I think about
realize,
you at all?
no, they're not. Their thought is, man, what do they think about me? And if you're thinking about what they think about you, like
Everybody's thinking about each other.
exactly. So what you should, once you realize that, now I don't have to think about you at all. Now I know my mind has been opened. Pause. So now I can literally think about what I actually need to think about. Right. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully he'll see it. Or otherwise, he's gonna probably something's going to start happening internally because you gotta sleep. You gotta, get your rest. You gotta eat well. You gotta be able to think. And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound like a good path.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree with that, y'all. And I was gonna say the same thing. Like everything that you listed, like a couple of those was a reason to I would say take the quote unquote separation. But the fact that you had a
Oh yeah.
job lined up, I was like, oh snap, you got a job lined up, you Gucci. Like all the indecision is more of an ego thing, of like, man, like I don't want to look as a failure. But truth be told, and that's another thing about companies and stuff like that. Like I had somebody even in leadership tell me this, where they're asking me what I wanted to do, and I was like, well, this is what I want to do because I see the gaps in the company. And they're like, yeah, that's all good, but you got to do what's right for you because the company's to do what's right for the company. So,
Every time.
so at the end of the day, what is it that you want to do? And so yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, Trey. Excuse me, Trey, and I totally believe that like the grass, like everything was pointing except for the quote unquote less pay, right? Which you could probably make up in other
Well, he
spaces,
said it
but
was he said it was negligible. So that means like
yeah,
what
like wash,
a thousand or two. It probably was a
yeah,
couple thousand.
which is something that you even negotiate.
Or you can just start a business, get that back. That's nothing.
Yeah, that difference is nothing compared to your not having a stroke. That's like
Or whatever. Like I just
yeah,
use that because someone I know just had one. But I mean,
yeah, yeah,
it could be
yeah.
anything.
Panic attacks, night terrors,
Yeah,
like
all of
that's
that.
that's 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 too much. But
I'm
yeah,
not
y'all,
thinking about the job when I leave. I'm having night terrors, bruh. I'm out.
that's something else.
Like that's
That's
crazy. Of course it
not
is. But you
yeah,
know,
yeah. So yeah, y'all definitely appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Thank you so much for chatting with us on this episode. Again, want to shout out both Tech Coach Ralph and Ava Cutes that they joined us today. Really appreciate it, Ava Cutes. And y'all, this has been another episode of Talk That Tech, the
number one